Have you ever woken up one morning, looked out the window, and suddenly realized the sunlight doesn't seem as clear as it did yesterday? The faces of your loved ones, instead of being sharp and warm, appear blurry, as though covered by a thin layer of mist. I've heard this described countless times by my patients, men and women in their 50s, 60s, and beyond. It isn't painful. It isn't loud. It's quiet, gradual, almost as if the world itself is slowly retreating behind a curtain of fog. And you know what? That's exactly how most eye diseases begin. My name is Dr. Marcus Holliday. I just turned 60 this year. Over the decades, I've worked with thousands of older adults across America, and one truth has stayed with me. We often only begin to truly value our eyes once our vision starts slipping away. We spend our lives worrying about our jobs, our families, the people around us. Yet our eyes, the very windows to the soul, are too often neglected until they begin to cry out for help. I remember a patient named Linda, 67, a gentle woman from Ohio. She once told me, "Doctor, I never thought the day would come when I couldn't clearly see my granddaughter's face as she ran toward me." That sentence etched itself into my memory. It reminded me that losing sight isn't just about losing vision. It's about losing precious moments of life itself. Have you ever felt that way? Struggling to drive at night because of the glare of headlights? Or needing to hold the newspaper a little farther away to read the words? If so, please don't think you're alone. This is something nearly all of us will face because eyes, like our hearts, our legs, even our memory, age with time. But here's the good news. It's not all predetermined. There are paths we can take, small choices we can make to preserve the clarity in our eyes. For years, many people believed the answer could only be found in pills or expensive surgeries. But in my experience, and according to a growing body of scientific research, one of the most powerful eye clinics lies not in a hospital, but right inside your kitchen. Yes, the foods you eat every day, the simple meals on your table, can become the key to protecting your vision, preventing cataracts, lowering the risk of glaucoma, and helping you maintain clear eyesight for years to come. I want you to picture this. Every dish you place on the table, from a plate of leafy greens to a piece of grilled salmon, doesn't just fill your stomach. It sends silent guardians into your eyes, nutrients that science has proven to be powerful. Tiny but mighty defenders. They sweep away harmful free radicals, shield against damaging blue light, reduce inflammation, and keep the retina and lens strong and resilient. In medicine, we give them complex names: antioxidants, carotenoids, essential fatty acids. But I don't want to turn this into a dry lecture. Instead, I want to share with you, simply, clearly, the story of 10 golden nutrients that can help preserve your vision. Some why you may already know, like vitamin C, vitamin E, or lutein. Others may sound less familiar, like astaxanthin or anthocyanins. The important thing isn't memorizing the scientific names. What matters is understanding a simple truth. Food is not just fuel, it is medicine. And the eyes, so delicate, so sensitive, are among the first to benefit from these natural remedies. You know, whenever I sit down with a patient and suggest adding a bit of kale, a handful of blueberries, or some walnuts to their meals, they often smile with doubt. But after a few months, many return to me and say their eyes feel less dry. Reading has become easier. Even their sleep feels better. There is no overnight miracle, but there is steady, quiet, meaningful change. I believe that at 50, 60, or 70, we don't just want to live longer. We want to live clearer, to see our grandchildren grow, to read the words of our favorite books, to watch the sunrise and sunset without squinting, to stay connected to the world through just bright, steady vision. In this video, I'll take you on a journey, not an academic lecture, but a practical, heart-to-heart conversation. Together, we'll explore the 10 nutrients nature has given us to protect against cataracts, reduce the risk of glaucoma, and keep your vision strong and clear. I'll share lessons from my patients, insights from simple scientific findings, and even my own experiences, as someone in his 60s learning to protect his own eyes. So before we begin, I want you to ask yourself, If the eyes are the windows to the soul, how well have you cared for them all these years? And perhaps, is it time to finally give them the attention they truly deserve? Do you remember when I said that your kitchen might just be the greatest eye clinic of all? Well, let's open that door together now. I want you to join me as we step inside and imagine how each familiar meal can become a natural remedy, quietly protecting your eyes every single day. Let's begin with something that seems small, yet is profoundly important. Vitamin C. You probably know it as a warrior against the common cold. But few people realize that the lens of the eye actually holds an exceptionally high concentration of vitamin C. Think of it like an invisible lens cloth, constantly wiping away the free radicals that try to cloud the clarity of your vision. I once had a patient, James, 72 years old, who told me, "Doctor, I never thought that my morning glass of orange juice could actually help me see better." And indeed, major studies have shown that people with diets rich in vitamin C often have a significantly lower risk of developing cataracts. But vitamin C doesn't work alone. It needs a companion, vitamin E. These two nutrients are like lifelong friends, standing side by side against the wear and tear of time. If vitamin C is the lens cloth, then vitamin E is the protective shield, guarding the fragile cells in the retina from being torn apart by free radicals. I often recommend patients add a few almonds to their breakfast, or a couple of slices of ripe avocado. Simple changes, yes, but often it's the simple things that make the most lasting difference. When it comes to eye protection, I can't leave out lutein and zeaxanthin. I like to call them nature's sunglasses. They reside right in the macula, the part of the eye responsible for sharp, central vision, and they filter harmful blue light, much like a pair of shades on a bright day. I remember a 65-year-old woman who told me that after she began eating more kale and eggs, she found it easier to read at night. And science has confirmed it. These plant pigments actually build up in the retina, forming a Q, its shield of protection. Now let me tell you about another nutrient we often overlook, vitamin A. Do you recall the old saying, "Carrots help you see in the dark"? Well, that wasn't just a folktale. Vitamin A is a key component of a protein in the eye that allows us to see in low light. Without it, we develop night blindness, where twilight becomes a challenge. I've seen many older patients who, after adding foods rich in vitamin A, like roasted sweet potatoes or a bowl of pumpkin stew, noticed real improvements in their night vision. But here's the thing. Vitamin A also needs a delivery truck. That's where zinc comes in. Without zinc, vitamin A gets stuck in the liver and never makes its way to the retina to do its vital job. Picture zinc as the truck and vitamin A as the precious cargo. I often advise patients to enjoy seafood like oysters, or even something as simple as a handful of roasted pumpkin seeds to keep that delivery system running. Speaking of minerals, there's another, her silent hero, selenium. The name might sound distant, but its role is powerful. It's part of an enzyme that acts as one of the strongest antioxidants, protecting the lens from clouding. Just 1 or 2 Brazil nuts a day can provide all the selenium your eyes need. Small, yes, but mighty. And of course, we can't forget omega-3s, the fatty acids I like to call the lubricating oil of the eyes. I remember a 61-year-old patient with mild glaucoma who began eating salmon twice a week and adding chia seeds to his breakfast. 6 months later, his intraocular pressure had stabilized noticeably. Not a miracle, but the synergy of nutrition and the body's own natural mechanisms. Omega-3s reduce inflammation, improve fluid circulation within the eye, and nourish the retinal cells. Now, you might think that's enough already, but nature has more gifts in store. One of them is astaxanthin, the red pigment found in salmon, algae, and lobster. It's often called the king of antioxidants, and I believe the title fits. It outperforms even vitamin C and E in shielding the retina from intense light, while also improving blood flow to the eyes. Another often forgotten nutrient is vitamin D, and I don't mean just supplements. I'm talking about gentle morning sunlight, or foods like fatty fish and milk. Recent studies suggest that low vitamin D levels may increase the risk of macular degeneration. I know many older adults shy away from sunlight, but just 10 to 15 minutes of soft morning rays can do wonders, not only for your eyes but also for your bones and overall well-being. Finally, let's not forget anthocyanins, the compounds that give blueberries, purple grapes, and blackberries their deep, rich color. They're not just beautiful, they strengthen the tiny blood vessels in the retina, improve circulation, support night vision, and reduce eye strain. I often tell patients, every blueberry you eat is like a sweet, gentle eye tonic, more delightful than any pill you could take. You see, there's no single magic pill that can replace all of this. But when we combine them, a little kale at lunch, a handful of almonds as an afternoon snack, a serving of salmon at dinner, day by day, we begin to build a fortress of protection for our eyes. You know, at this age, we don't need to prove anything to the world anymore. What truly matters is living with a lighter heart, a healthier body, and a clear enough mind to enjoy every small moment of life. A warm meal, an afternoon watching the sunset, or simply the sound of laughter filling the house when family gathers around. I often remind my patients, we may not be able to add more years to our life, but we can make the years we have left worth living. That is the true meaning of health. So today, as you listen to me, ask yourself, do you want the coming years to be filled with exhaustion, or do you want them to be full of clarity and peace? The answer lies in the choices you make right now. When you decide to take a few extra steps at the park, when you put away that can of soda and choose a glass of water instead, when you allow your mind to rest, to breathe deeply, and to smile. And if what I've shared today resonates with you, please leave a comment below. Tell me, what happened? It makes you feel healthier and happier? I truly want to hear your story. Don't forget to hit subscribe and share this video with friends or loved ones who are also in their 50s or beyond. Sometimes a simple reminder can change a life. I'm Robert, a doctor who has walked alongside thousands of patients over the decades. And today, I want to walk alongside you on this journey to live healthier, to live happier, and to live more deeply every single day. I'll see you in the next video. And remember, taking care of your health is our way of saying, yes, I still love this life.